Okay, here we go. We're receiving content. It is horribly September 11th, which is. As soon as this comes on, I can't believe it's September 11th, kids. Good morning, kids. I'm always scratching my ear. Good morning, kids. Okay, let's do this. Let's do Facebook and here. Hi, kids. Good morning. It is 9/11, and I'm doing Facebook as well as YouTube. Good morning, my children, my little children. Just kidding. Trampa's really tired. I went to a party last night. I went to a cannabis dope awards party. It was pretty crazy and a lot of fun, but a lot of trying products out, which is something that you kind of have to do. But I really want to tell you how this industry is changing so rapidly. It's crazy. Good morning, everybody on YouTube, Sarah and Cole, and good morning, everybody on Facebook, Sabina and Danielle. And here comes everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is one of those weird days, right? Where we have to acknowledge something that isn't necessarily a nice thing to acknowledge, really. Hi, good morning, Azra. Good morning, Elizabeth. Here comes Stacy. Hello, Alex. How are you doing, my friend? Hi, Stace. Um, Good morning, Pedro. Buenos días, señor. ¿Qué pasa? Eh, para mí es importante para hablar español, so escribe en español para mí fácilmente entiendes, okay? Good morning, Kate. Thank you, Stacy. I forgot to get the link from my YouTube. So if you guys want to join us on YouTube too, that's fine. I noticed that. Well, we noticed that the feed doesn't stay on YouTube after like it does on Facebook. So you can always go back and look at the questions on Facebook, but not YouTube. Good morning, Ellie. Good morning, my friend. Thanks for joining us, O'Neill and everybody. So today is 9/11. Today is 9/11 in the United States, if you live in the United States and in the world. But I think, specifically talking to us here in the United States, it's not a nice day. We have to remember something. Good morning, Michael. First time catching you in a few months. Oh, thanks for coming by again. We appreciate that. Uh, Pedro says, hola, Bate, admiro y me encanta tu trabajo. Oh, gracias. So he's interested in my work. I think that's how I'm reading it. See, es más difícil para mí leer de español para mí instead para mí habla español. Es más fácil para mí hablar. So hey Philip, good morning, my friend. Rinaldo, good morning. So today is 9/11. Today is 9/11. So what does that mean to you? What does that mean to us? What does that mean to the world? It was devastating. It still is devastating what happened. But why did it happen? Today, do we even know why that happened? It's unbelievable. Hi, Sabrina. Oh, Soren is with you. Fantastic. Why did that happen? It's horrible. I mean, the fact that we even have to have a conversation about things like this that happen in the world is bleh, it's gross, but it happens and it continues to happen. And we're always still seeing so much violence in the world, and it seems to be getting more and more. I mean, the other thing is, like, how is everybody doing in Florida? How is everybody? Do we know people there? Have we checked in on them? Of course we have, but how is everybody? Hello, Matthew. Good morning. It's horrible what's happening in this world. We're having hurricanes, earthquakes, crazy shit happening all over the place. The way we're all disconnected from each other. The way the earth is going, look, wake the fuck up. That's what's happening with the earthquakes, the hurricanes, the tsunamis, the everything. Everything. The way people are interacting with each other. It's it's horrible. Good morning, Mandy. I hate to have to talk about this, but we have to talk about 9/11, and we have to say that we have have to get back on track. I don't understand why I have to have some coffee right now. Oh, did I tell you guys? The B cups are up. I got them finished and up, so we'll put a link again. Did you see the link, Stacy? I made the B cups, so everybody can have a B cup now. Philip says, the day was horrible. I was in school, and it was horrible. I woke up, and I remember exactly. I have a family in Naples, and they are good. Oh, great. It's good to hear, Tony. Thank you so much. Hi, Melanda. She says, hey, Buck, we met at Anime. I'm in Northwest Florida, and it's stormy here, but it's the winds are really bad. Thank you so much for bringing us up to speed. George says, we all need to just tap into the energy of becoming the change we want to see. And that's exactly it, George. And that's exactly why we are here. Good morning, Lindsay. Nice to see you. That's why we are here, to create positive energy back into our community that has horrible energy. Horrible energy. What has happened to our community is horrible energy. And we are creating that energy between each other. When we create this energy of animosity towards each other, you're this and you're that towards each other, and then it becomes a big shit fest on the internet because this person said this person about this person, and some people are going to believe it, some people are. We've created a shit show. We've created such a shit show in our community. It's embarrassing and disgusting. And when I talk about things like 9/11, it makes me go, why? Why are we on such a level in our own community where we just dislike each other? We just dislike each other. Lindsay says, I was in New York because it was my father's birthday, was to only be there a week, and ended up being 2 weeks. Oh, I didn't know that. Nice to have you back, my friend. Amy says, what's the B cup? This is your first time in the B cup, Amy? Wow. You're in for a big treat, my friend. The B cup is this. We have moderators, Stacy, Rachel, and Ty, and they're usually on here. Stacy more than anybody else. And what we do here is we give you a space in order to be able to have opinions, have dialogue, have conversation, talk about why is our community in a very bad state. Why are we teaching people in the transgender and the LGBT community to only act and speak and talk alike? Why are we ostracizing people because they don't have the same beliefs as you? Why are we teaching people that you're only transgender and not transsexual? Why are we creating a space in the transgender community for only people who want to all be alike and talk alike? And this is what we talk about on the B Cup. Where has our community gone? Where has the love in our community gone? Where is the independence in our community gone? Where is the ability to have a conversation gone? Where is the ability to become adults gone? Where is the ability to become, I want to belong to this community, but I want to be an individual? This is what the B Cup is about. You will never be ostracized from here. The only way you will be asked to leave is if you are a troll. And what I mean by a troll is somebody who's not willing to have conversation, but to be very adamant in their idea and to not have any open-mindedness. Here's the deal. I'll give you an example. I use the word tranny. Many people in our community don't, not many, but a lot, don't like to have that word used. Well, I do, and I believe in that word as a reclaiming of my own identity and my own experiences. There are many people in the community who try to ostracize me for that. That is bad behavior. You can't do that. You can't tell me how to speak and that I'm not trans enough if I don't speak this way. These are the ideas that are so incredibly frustrating for me and many of the other people in our community, and why we started the B Cup. It's about us as individuals having our own ideas and our own expression of ourselves without feeling like we have to tiptoe around it or we're going to be ostracized from some community. Hi, Herbert. Nice to see you. Hi, Louise. Good morning, my friend. So Stacy says, join the group, love, community, and conversation. And there you go, my friend. I hope that was it. Tony says, my hubby got stuck Greyhound Station due to him joining the military and they couldn't leave due to the events. Yes. Hi, Hector. Nice to see you. Nate says the problem is that everyone gets hurt too easy these days. It is the problem. There's a big problem in our community where we cannot speak because people get their feelings hurt or they get triggered or they get... Here's the deal. We believe in triggers and PTSD, but what we don't believe here is holding on to those triggers. Good morning, Timmy. We believe in teaching you how to remove the trigger to move through the pain that you have. I believe that the transgender community teaches you that triggers are a good way to live. It is not a good way to live. I will not agree with that. It's a horrible way to live. The transgender community right now teaches you that, yeah, you have triggers. Use them to prevent yourself from growing. That's what they're teaching you. When you walk in a place and you're like, I have triggers, you can't say perfume, you have now made a block in your life. Of course you have triggers. We all have triggers. But are you going to live letting your trigger run your life? Then you're not going to have a life. I'm not sure why we're teaching people. Good morning, Patrick. I'm not sure why we're teaching people in our community that having a trigger is a positive thing. It is 100% a negative thing to have a trigger. It is 100% holding you back, and it is 100% one of the most negative things that we can teach each other in our community. That your trigger is okay. Your trigger is not okay. Why are we teaching you that? Your trigger is a horrible thing that is keeping you down. We love you. We want to see you without triggers. We want to see you move through the world with love and light in your heart. We don't want to see you. So when your transgender community is telling you that it is okay you have triggers, they're actually keeping you down. They don't love you. They don't respect you. They're telling you that you can walk and talk and say, stop saying things to me or you're going to hurt my feelings. The real world does not work that way, people. The real world will not tell you that. Your transgender bubble will tell you that until you leave the transgender bubble, and then you're fucked. And then you're fucked. And then what? You think your little transgender buddies are going to be there for you? They're not. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. They only care about you in your little bubble. But once you go out into the real world, then what? They're not there for you anymore now, are they? That's why we have the B cup. You're never late, Xavier. You're never late. You're never late. You show up, you show up. You leave, you leave. It's called an open door. We don't do this, come in, if you're late, we're going to shut the door. No way. No way. There's all these weird rules and regulations that we've made on everybody. Why isn't it just easy to do shit anymore? Why isn't it just easy to come and go? Come. If you got to leave for work, go. If you're a little late because you made a coffee, who cares? Do you hear the message? Do you hear the message? This is what we must talk about. Do you hear the message? What is the message? What is your message? What is your path? What is your passion? Why are you here? Every single one of us are here for a reason. You have a purpose. This is why it is dangerous behavior in our community to tell people how to be. Then you are not being told that you have a purpose. Each and every one of us has our own purpose. You don't have my purpose and I don't have your purpose. Our purposes are different. I don't know what your purpose is. I know what my purpose is. Lindsay says, I used to really hate my body, even as a cis woman. Now I'm learning how to love my body. Could lose some weight, but hey, you're beautiful, my friend, and do what you need to do for yourself. Hi, Finn. Good day, my friend. O'Neill says, Buck, I ask you very respectfully to speak to a head doctor about PTSD and CPTSD and what real triggers are, how to navigate. Yeah, most definitely. Why don't you send me a doctor that you like and I'll talk to him about it. And in no way am I disrespecting triggers. This is what you must understand. When I speak about triggers and PTSD, I am 100% understanding of triggers and PTSD. Don't think I don't understand it. I 100% understand it. What I don't understand is this. You can't just tell me I have a trigger and that I'm going to live with that trigger for the rest of my life, no matter what. I don't believe that. I do not believe that. Triggers are something everybody has, okay? And I do understand PTSD. It is why I work in the cannabis business, O'Neill. That's 100% why I work in the cannabis business, because I want to create a medication for my fellow people, okay? My friends, my family, my community, in order to get help for your PTSD, not to take drugs that will mask the problem of the PTSD. Does that make sense? I'm a believer of fixing the problem. I'm not a believer of masking the problem. I am a completely 100% aware of what triggers are. And I'm not being insensitive. I don't want you to think that I'm not being insensitive. I'm actually being more sensitive, because what I want to do is have the discussion and understand, why do we have triggers and PTSD at such a high rate in the transgender and LGBT? I know why. But why aren't we talking about fixing the triggers and PTSD, or helping to remove it so that you can walk through the world? This is the problem that I have with the PTSD trigger syndrome that we have created in our community. 100% they're real. O'Neill says, why is it my job to find information? Why do you not understand it? I've listened to you for months. You are misinformed. Why is it your job, O'Neill? Because you bring it up to me. That's why it's your job, and it's not your job. O'Neill, it's not your job. I asked you to do it because you're bringing it up. Do you know how many things people have me talk about on here? If I spent the whole day researching, it is your job, actually. It is my belief of what I believe. If you want me to be more informed, send me information. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Lindsay says, Buck isn't saying you can't have triggers. You're not listening to me, O'Neill. You're very in your bubble right now. I am not shaming people for triggers. I am not shaming people for PTSD. There are many people in this rooms who have PTSD and triggers. They don't feel that way. Nobody says that to me. You're the only person who has ever come back and forth and said that to me. Yes, it is your responsibility. It's not your job. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But if you want me to be more informed, you must show me articles where I can be more informed. Yes, that is your responsibility. I'm going to continue to speak about what I know and what I feel. I don't know triggers and PTSD at the medical level. I understand they are very real. I have triggers too. We all have them. I just don't call them a trigger. I don't call them a trigger. It's been used out of context at such a level that we now disrespect that word trigger. Okay? Okay, so that's what I'm just saying. I'm saying, ask, tell me. Hobbs says, Buck, you're No, I'm not gaslighting. I'm not. Okay, let's have the conversation. I'm not gaslighting. I'm talking about triggers and PTSD and why I believe we must remove them from our community in order to move forward. Does that make sense? I am not gaslighting. I apologize if you think that way. I'm the man who believes, how do we remove triggers and PTSD experiences from people growing in our community, Hobbs? Okay? I'm not telling other people what to do. Hobbs says you should talk about your own experiences versus telling. I'm not telling people what to do. Okay. So now I feel like you're misunderstanding me. So let me say it one more time. Now O'Neill says you choose ignorance is disrespectful. I'm brave enough to. You're not calling me out, O'Neill. O'Neill says you choose ignorance is disrespectful. I'm brave enough to call you out. You don't need to be brave, and you don't need to call me out, because you're not calling me out on anything. You're not calling me out. I'm not doing anything to be called out on. You're not listening to me, but I don't have time to argue with you on here. So let's just say this. Some people believe that I am gaslighting. Some people believe that that I am being, what am I being? I'm being disrespectful around triggers. No, I'm not. That's just your opinion, my friend. Let's see what other people think. Tracy says, oh, yes, it makes sense. Xavier says, it's sad. When I was in the mental hospital, trigger was such a helpful word, but it's become something else. Xavier says, now people can use the word without being laughed out. Yes. Oh my God, people listen to him. Anyways, it doesn't matter, because this is what I believe. If you, O'Neill, and you, Hobbs, think different about that, that's okay. I don't feel in any way that that's different. I don't think that you're being disrespectful to me at all. I think it's your opinion, and you're allowed to have your opinion just like I am. I'm not in no way. So don't come after me because you don't like my opinion. Only come after me because you disagree with me and you think that there's a better way to do it. And that's okay. That's okay. My belief is I want to fix it. I don't want us to be. So I'm calling you out for your ignorance, and I'm not being dismissive. To be dismissive is to ignore you. So now I'm being dismissive. I'm not being dismissive. I'm listening to you. I hear you. Okay? I hear you. What doesn't matter? Oh, now you're getting mad. Now O'Neill's getting mad and he's calling it bullshit. And how come people don't know how to have a conversation? Oops, my alarm. Have a conversation with me. It's my opinion and the way I believe it. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It's my opinion. This is the problem with the community. You're actually, thank you, O'Neill. You're actually proving my point, right? You're actually proving my point. I know, Stacy, but it's okay. Trolls are good. I'm not Now O'Neill is calling me defensive. To have an opinion is not defensive. To have an opinion is not defensive. It's called an opinion. Anyway, I'm moving on because you're spending too much time on this. O'Neill, I'm going to speak to you directly right now. If you really want me to know something that you think I don't know, send me a link in my email, anywhere you want. Direct message me. I'm very easy to get a hold of. Send me some information. I will read it here. We can talk about it a little bit more as a conversation. But other than that, I'm not going to have the conversation because you're not having a conversation with me. You're telling me that I'm wrong, and that's that, and you won't listen anymore. So anyway, and there I am, Hobbs. Dude, you're not listening. So anyway, the thing is this, kids. Good morning, Tracy. That's the beauty of our world. We can all have the opinions, but be respectful to each other as Buck is being. Xavier says, I'm pretty sure O'Neill blocked me a while ago. It's because O'Neill has triggers and PTSD. So O'Neill thinks that we are not being respectful to O'Neill. And that's the funny part about it, is that people have been so completely 100% brainwashed in this community that if you have a different opinion about something, you're disrespectful, you don't know anything, you're gaslighting, and that's why the B Cup is so important, because we create dialogue here. You can have a different opinion, Hobbs. I don't really care. Go ahead and have a different opinion. I have a different opinion than you. If you don't like what I'm teaching and what I'm doing, start your own show. Make your own voice out there. It is what I believe. You won't change my mind. I've been in this community for many fucking years. I know triggers have been around since the beginning of the transsexual movement. We've all had triggers. I've been in the hospital for triggers. So don't tell me what a trigger is. I learned how to move through the world with my triggers and with my PTSD. The point is what I'm trying to make is this. There is a way to move through the world with your PTSD and triggers. There is a way to teach us how to talk about our triggers and our PTSD without shutting out the conversation. That's what I'm talking about. If you don't like it, I don't really care. I don't really care. It's my opinion. The B Cup is here for opinions and dialogue, not to shut it down. Whether or not you like it or not, I don't really care. What I care is this. I care to have a conversation. If you believe what I'm saying is wrong, that's okay. It doesn't mean you're right and I'm wrong. It just believes it's my opinion. This is the point we must get across in our community. We are allowed to think differently about different things. We are allowed to say a trigger is this or PTSD is this. It's different for everybody, my friend. It is not the same. What triggers you does not trigger me. What PTSD I have with this is not the same that you have with this. So stop acting as if it's a blanket way in order for us to be. It isn't. Triggers and PTSD can be all different, all weird. Some can be helped, some can't. Some need to take serious narcotics. Some people don't. Some people need to talk about it. Some don't. That's what I'm talking about. How do we start the dialogue that just because you've been told you have a trigger means that you're not allowed to move forward? the point I'm making. And if you're not hearing me now, it means that you don't understand what I'm saying and who I am. That's all I'm talking about. What an interesting name, my friend, Bola Waf. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. For people with PTSD, it's very common for their memories to be triggered by sight, sound, smells, and even feelings that 100% that they experience. These triggers can bring back memories of trauma, cause intense emotional. I 100% believe that. I work with PTSD people every day. Every single day I work with these people, okay? So I'm at the center, I'm around places, I work very in depth around it. I'm very familiar with it. It is why I talk about it. It is exactly why I talk about it. Isn't that something that you want to relieve with yourself? How do we bring the conversation so that we all understand what PTSD and triggers are? It has been misused within the community. And if you don't believe that, I'm sorry, but it has been misused. It has been taken out of context. It has been used for things that not necessarily are as intense. There's levels of PTSD. Why are we not talking about that? Xavier says not everybody can get through it, but there are tons of coping mechanisms. Exactly. I'm not saying everybody. It's like saying everyone should have top surgery. No. But how come we're not having that conversation? Right? Not everybody can get through it. Leah says, this is why we call him Trampall. He has been there. He knows. And it's also, I'm not an expert. I know what I know. PTSD is something that everyone in every walk of life can experience at every time. Buck has never said he claimed your opinion doesn't. Never. I've never said that. I believe in your opinion. It's the reason I want you here. If I didn't want you here, I would say, did I say your opinion doesn't matter? What I meant by, if I said that, I apologize. Your opinion does matter, but it doesn't change my opinion. That's what I need to say. Your opinion does matter. The reason we're here is for dialogue and opinion. It's awesome. But what I mean is this. You're allowed to have your own opinion. It doesn't mean my opinion doesn't count. It doesn't mean my idea, my understanding of triggers and PTSD are not different than yours. What I want to do in the community is help people. Help people walk through the fear, the hurt, the debilitating thing that triggers and PTSD have done to you. That's what I want to do, Hobbs and O'Neill. I want to have the conversation with you. But what I want to do is say this. How do we remove these, or how do we teach you in the community to understand that this doesn't have to be something that holds you down, that it doesn't have to be the thing that makes you fear walking through the door? That, Hobbs and O'Neill, is what I want to do. And if I said your opinion doesn't count, I apologize tremendously for that. I did not mean that. Your opinion counts. Your dialogue counts because it starts this dialogue. Okay? Call me out if you want to, but calling me out is also something that doesn't work here in the B Cup. You're not calling me out. Calling me out is saying that I'm saying something wrong. I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm saying my opinion. Okay? This call out thing also has become something other than dialogue. Don't call me out. Have a dialogue, O'Neill. And now I'm childish? O'Neill, my friend, I'm not having conversation with you anymore. You're not having conversation. You're being a bully, actually. Because O'Neill says this to me. Well, I just had that whole conversation. He says, your mistake was laughter and a childish reaction. That's not healthy or welcoming. Many days I just... Then don't come here, O'Neill. Listen to me. Do not come here anymore, O'Neill. If you cannot handle the way I speak, who I am, what I do, why are you here? Why are you here? I don't help you. And in fact, I might trigger you, okay? I might trigger you. So you might leave. Go. I don't want to trigger you. I don't want you to have any kind of situation where you're not feeling comfortable. Please leave, because you're not going to feel safe here if that's the situation. And I'm not going to pussyfoot around, okay? Yeah, this is live, 100%. So here's the deal, O'Neill. You and I disagree. I love you, my friend. You're amazing. You're beautiful. You're part of our beautiful, amazing community. I disagree with you. And that's okay, brother, sister, sibling. Okay? If I misgendered you, I apologize. I am in no way after you. I am with you. I like to have dialogue. Okay? So there you go, my friend. You're more than welcome to stay and have this, or you're more than welcome to leave. That's how we do it. And you too, Hobbs. It's okay for me to think differently than you. Okay? That's the point. Have your opinion here. Let's talk about it. How do we work together? Okay? So that's what I talk about here. That's why people show up. We have dialogue. Dead 2 says, I'm sorry, Buck, I'm so late. No. Don't be sorry. May I ask what PTSD, and somebody explained this to you right here, Patrick did, post-traumatic stress syndrome. It's sort of like, this is what happens. Things happen in our life. Things happen. Life is intense. Really? I'm so bummed right now, you guys. O'Neill just called me an ass. Really? We're going to have you leave now, O'Neill. That's not what we do here. O'Neill just called me an ass. That's a bummer. It makes me want to really be sad right now. Because they just proved my point. They just proved my point. Thank you, O'Neill. Thank you, O'Neill. O'Neill's now calling me an ass, and that's my point. O'Neill came to this wanting to have a discussion. No, actually, Stacy, it's awesome because O'Neill's proving my point. People in this community don't know how to discussion. They don't know how. When you go against their opinion, O'Neill, you're so great. Thank you for showing up and doing this because you proved it. You proved it. When you go against people in this community and against their ideology and their fucking cult-like behavior, they attack you. And now I'm an ass. Did I ever call you an ass, O'Neill? Did I ever call you? No, and I never will. It is not my place. But you, my friend, proved exactly what I talk about every day. So we love you for that. Because O'Neill is our troll of the day. O'Neill is our troll of the day who completely, totally made us exactly what. And Elizabeth, O'Neill, you're triggering Elizabeth. She's crying now. You're triggering people in this room, O'Neill. Why don't you really? I think it's time for you to leave, my friend. Why are you here? Finn says, putting yourself out here every day, Buck, open to harassment and bullying. Hats off. Because, my friend, I do it to make a point. You can't fuck with me. Bully me, hit me, do all these things you want. You're not going to stop me. It's my opinion. There are many people in this room who have the same opinion as me, okay? It is sad, Tracy, because we start this conversation to create change. We don't start this conversation to have that same energy. Derek, the reason why you can't see O'Neill is because O'Neill is on my YouTube channel crying over here and calling me an ass over here. So, Jesse, we're talking about PTSD and triggers. And of course, I told you, the trans people out there come and watch us secretly until they see something and then they spurt out. So O'Neill is somebody who continually comes on and says that I'm very disrespectful around triggers and PTSD, and that I'm very disrespectful about talking about it. And I am not. I talk about removing it. They just don't like the way I talk about it. So instead of having a normal adult conversation, they troll me and they call me an ass and they tell me I don't know what I'm doing and blah, blah, blah. And instead of kicking them out of the room, I keep them here. I keep them here for a reason. I keep them here to show you exactly what I'm talking about. How people can't have conversation if you don't agree with them in this community. And that's why I keep him around, or them. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm also immune to bullying. I'm immune to it. You can't, hit me, dude. It doesn't matter. Don't be confused, Jesse. It's not worth your time. Tawny says, people think, but it's my opinion that they're right, and anything questioning their ideologies is threatening to their existence in their mind. Hopefully someday these people will open. You know, in a way, I'm the same way. I have my opinion. I have the way I think. I mean, honestly, though, I am open to change. That's I guess, the difference. I'm totally open to change. I'm open to having dialogue. I'm opening to, can you change my mind? It's why when I say this, when people say to me, Buck, you're misinformed, you don't know shit about triggers, you don't know shit about PTSD, I'm like, okay, you know what, my friend? Why don't you go and send me some links to some great information, I'll learn about it. And they turn around and say, it's not my job to educate you. Yes, it is. If you don't like what I'm saying and you think I'm misinformed, send me information to read. But instead of them saying, okay, you're right, Buck, thanks for wanting to learn about it, they say, it's not my job to educate you, but you're the one who just told me that I'm misinformed. If I think you're misinformed, I'm going to send you information to inform you. Is that true? Buck, I'm sorry if I'm jumping off topic, but I've been contemplating surgery, just lower surgery. Oh, good for you. Well, my friend, you need to talk to somebody who has versed enough in lower surgery because I'm not. I know nothing about bottom surgery. It is not my expertise, but find some guys who've done it and they'll help you out a lot, okay? Sarah says, excellent points and dialogue, Buck, because I want to have conversation. I don't want to be fucking wasting my time with being called an asshole. Who cares? I'm an asshole, whatever. I'm an asshole only because I don't agree with you. I'm an asshole because you think I'm misinforming people. I'm not misinforming people about anything. I don't know shit about shit. I only know about me and my own journey, and I know about my own triggers and my own PTSD. Maybe I didn't have it at that level. Maybe I don't know. All I know is I really clean myself up, and I walk the world so free of that shit. I can talk about it. I can tell you, yes, this is what I did with my body. Maybe my level of PTSD isn't as big as yours, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about how can we remove these? How can we move through them instead of teaching you to hold on to it? And that's why O'Neill is pissed at me, because I'm saying to O'Neill, don't you want to remove the triggers? Don't you want to talk about why do we have triggers at such an alarming rate in the trans community instead of saying it's okay? Why wouldn't you want to fix that? Why would you want to hold on to it? And why would you want me, of all people, right, not to be informed about it if you think I'm not? That's the point. Don't tell me I'm misinformed and not want to send me any information, because that's bullshit behavior. And that's what I'm talking about. So you, Hobbs, as well. We understand your opinion, my friend, Hobbs, on Facebook. We understand. We know. You think that I don't know anything about triggers. Yes, I do. What I know is my own experience. And what I know is this. How do we start to talk about fixing triggers, fixing PTSD? How do we start to talk about having a little bit more compassion to teach our community to love each other, to love ourselves, to help each other grow? How? Instead of saying, I have PTSD and I can't move through the world. So Tawny says, you are absolutely right. We can never evolve as people without open dialogue. Gabe says, listening to others' opinions can be a good way to learn and broaden your perspective. Just because you don't agree with their opinion doesn't mean you get to rise above or shine your... Exactly. It's just me believing. That's all. When I first came out, Buck, the way you lived honestly triggered me, but I kept going and learned. You educated me on the other people's perspectives. Now I know there's more than one way to be trans, and I learned a lot about not conforming to toxic masculinity. So listen, learn, you might change your perspective. Bless you, my friend. That's all I'm saying. And in no way do I want to trigger you, and in no way do I want to make you feel shitty about yourself. That is not the point. But sometimes you can hear things you might not want to hear. Sometimes you hear things you might not want to hear. It can create that trigger. When I start to talk about my youth, it triggers me. I start to cry. But I walk through it. I sit here and cry almost daily on here. Those are my triggers. But what do? I don't say, oh my God, we're shutting this off right now. We're not going to talk about it because I'm having a trigger. I sit here, look, I cry like a real person. I cry like a real person. That this is my trigger. But what do I say to you? Push through it. Not everybody can do it. I've been blessed enough to be able to do it. Damn it. I had to turn off that alarm. But Xavier says, but I've looked you up for like 7 years now, and you're still an important figure to me. You might not like what I say. It might trigger you. I hate that happens. But did it wake you up to think about something? Drew says, I love your confidence, Buck. If we were as men could all trust ourselves, these O'Neill trolls would not be an issue. Anyways, but the O'Neill trolls are important. They're important, the O'Neill trolls. You know why they're important? Because they show exactly what I'm talking about. There's a part of our community that will not budge, that will not have a conversation. They get so angry and mean that they have to call you asshole or idiot or fuckhead or you're not part of this, or you're toxic masculinity, or you're not really this, instead of having a conversation. It's difficult sometimes to have conversations when you disagree. Patrick says some people want to hold on to it because they are used to using it as a crutch. That too. How do we teach not to hold on to things that are hurting you? O'Neill's harassing others. I mean, yeah, I guess I need to kick him out. Yeah, okay, Neil, we have to remove you. I don't even know how to fucking do this because I never have to do this, which sucks. How do I remove O'Neill from the live chat? You're just too much, dude. Like, we don't want to listen to you. If you have something nice to say or a conversation, just say it. But stop acting as if you are the victim of this whole thing, because we're having conversation here. So here's the deal. I don't want to get rid of O'Neill because you know why? I think he's very important to the conversation. Just ignore him and I'll figure out tomorrow how to get rid of him. I don't have time. I don't want to put all that energy into O'Neill. It's not my... we got shit to do here. You know what I mean? So that's that. Derek says, without your kind words, Buck, I would have died months ago. You pulled me out of the jaws of hell and I have the utmost respect for you. Thank you, Derek. But no, dude, I'm just your cheerleader. I'm just here. People don't like me. It doesn't matter. Very few people. Very few people. I have a huge amount of support and energy from anyone. So Julia says, as someone who has PTSD, it was something I had to work through and also analyze my own reactions to things and understanding what set me off. That's what I want to talk about. People here who have PTSD and triggers, how are you dealing with it? What is it that you want to lose? Why don't we have the voices of the people who have PTSD here? I understand O'Neill does, and I understand Hobbs does, and we hear your opinion. But let's hear some other people's opinions, like this person right here, who learned to actually walk through their fear. I was triggering them, constantly triggering them, but they kept showing up because I was speaking to them with something that they needed to hear, and they heard it from me. So that's the key. Just listen. You might hear something. And if you don't hear anything and it doesn't do you any good here, then move on and find the space that it does. Hi, Andy. Nice to see you. But my God, to come on a show and just say, you're misinformed, you don't know anything, without giving us any other information is rude and disrespectful. And I don't care if you don't like my opinion. Listen to me. I really don't care if you don't like my opinion. What I do care about is this. Having dialogue, learning, teaching me. If you want to teach me something, teach me, but don't call me names. If you think I'm misinformed, inform me, because I want to be more informed. But the bottom line is this. This is about my opinion and your opinion, and together we grow. That's all I'm saying. Mostly it's about my opinion, because I'm the dude in front of the camera. But mostly I'll talk to you about things, and 100% I'm willing to change my mind. 100% I'm willing to change my mind if you can show me that I need to change my mind. So Liam says, can you define trigger, please? It is misused so much. It is something that makes someone scared or angry. Hey, the people out there who have triggers and PTSD who seem to be more informed than me, can you please put here a definition of trigger? I want somebody who seems to be more informed than me, because I can give you my opinion of a trigger, but there seems to be people in here who think I'm misinformed about triggers. So I would like somebody who has PTSD and triggers, more to level than I do, to please put that definition here. Randy says PTSD is no joke. The disrespect is mouthing off without being willing to put it in your... Exactly, Randy. PTSD is a real thing. Triggers are a real thing. And in no way have I ever said different than that. So nobody better leave this room and say I have. I have never said that. They are real. They are debilitating. They are horrible. And they will take you out. My conversation is, how do we start to talk about this at a level where we create change? Where we love each other enough to talk about this, about healing. Do you understand the word healing? I want to heal you. I don't want to keep you down. That is not what we are here for. Elliot says, I have PTSD and I had to take steps in order to be able to handle it. Meditation, sober living, positive self-talk. I had to educate everyone on my PTSD, even my partner. I deal with it daily. We all pretty much have PTSD. The world gives you PTSD. Some people have it worse than others, okay? Some people are more triggered than others. It's horrible, it's ugly, it's mean, it'll take you out. How do we get rid of it? Derek says a trigger is something that causes you distress and severe anxiety to the point where you have a physical and emotional reaction. There you go. Taylor says triggers set them off. Forsaken says, I'm sorry you have PTSD. Whatever and whoever put you through whatever it is you were subjected to is horrible. You are truly beautiful. And that's the way we need to talk about it. That's the way we need to talk about it. It's horrible. Stacy says, I have a lot of healing to do. I know I have to face it. I'm scared of what I need to do. Be scared. Scared is an okay thing. It's not a bad thing. But the point is that, Stacy, you're willing to actually make work about it. You're actually willing to talk about it, to understand it, and to move through it. Elliot says a trigger is a situation that causes your brain to switch into flight, fight, or freeze. Basically, it's hard. But everyone's triggers are different. Everyone's PTSD is different. People get triggered at different times for different things, right? It's not a box. It's not a box. Triggers, Julia says, being sober, and I did a lot of work through therapy. NA says, triggers cause huge panic attacks for me. I smell, a sight, a sound. See, triggers are many things, people. CBD and love, and as weird as it sounds, that's what CBD is great for this. Terry says, when I got robbed at gunpoint at work and now I have PTSD, I get real anxiety at night when I'm at work and I'm trying to get over it. Yes, it's horrible. It's horrible. The most important thing that we remember, because Trampo has to go today, is this. Today, I hope we learned a lot. I hope we learned a lot today. Because O'Neill and Hobbes came on, okay? Two people who disagree completely with my idea. Taylor says, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. Thank you. Love you for being who you are, not what you are. Right on, my friend. Listen, we had two people come on today, O'Neill and Hobbes. One on Facebook and one on YouTube, which makes me kind of think a little bit. That said, they attacked me. They did attack me around my idea about triggers and PTSD. And what I believe about PTSD and triggers is real. They're real. They're so saturated in our community. They're intense. I believe that they actually debilitate our community. I believe that we are not teaching people in our community how to deal with the PTSD, to get rid of it, or to live with it in a way that you can be successful and not be taken out. This is the conversation. But O'Neill, okay, right on, Derek. O'Neill and also Hobbes disagree with me in a way that they couldn't have a conversation. I was upsetting them so much that they started calling me names, that I was gaslighting, no, I wasn't. And you all know that I wasn't. I was here to create dialogue in order for us to learn and move through it. But some people don't know how to have dialogue, and it's the reason I'll tell you again why we have the B Cup. We have it in order to talk about things that people don't have the space to talk about because they get called asshole, or they get called names, or they get taken out, or they get removed from the community. And so there's no safe space to have these types of dialogue. I welcome you back, O'Neill, and I welcome you back, Hobbes, every day. Come and have the dialogue with us. Come and maybe learn something, because you taught me something today. So I really appreciate you showing up, because it just keeps me going. When you show up, all you do is keep me going. You make me understand how important my voice is, and how important it is to have conversation, and how important it is that we break through this idea that the only thing you have in life is a trigger. You don't. Your trigger is holding you back. Your PTSD is holding you back. We love you. I love you so much that I want to see you remove the trigger or get to a space where the trigger isn't your life, where the trigger is a part of your life and you understand it and you move through it and with it every day with confidence. This is what I want you to understand. I love you. I believe you have triggers. They are fucking you up. They are keeping you down. They are not helping you to become a successful person in life. And that makes me sad as your grandpa. Because I removed my triggers enough to be able to create a world of happiness, gratitude, love, empathy, everything. Everything. And that's the only reason I talk about triggers and PTSD. Because I want you to be able to be in a space where you move through the world too. So I hope that makes sense to you. And I hope you don't leave here thinking fucked up shit, because it's not true. Anyways, you don't. You get it. Come back, O'Neill, and come back, Hobbs, and have conversation. Finn says a trigger is something that sets off a memory. Yes, exactly. And that's it. How do we remove those? So, Randy says, you talk and never hear. Are you talking to me? Because the thing is that it scrolls really quick, and that's the thing. So, before, you would not have conversation, deny, and laughter at me and Hobbs. Oh, Randy, I see what you're saying. Did I laugh? I didn't laugh. Randy, I'm speaking to you right now. I didn't laugh. I spoke to Hobbs and I spoke to O'Neill. If you want to create that energy in here, you go right ahead. I don't really know why you're in here. Yeah, Randy, I'm speaking to you, my friend. I did not laugh. Grow up. Have conversation. I just said what I needed to say. If you didn't hear me, that's your problem. It's not mine. I said triggers and PTSD are real. I'm going to say it again, but I have to go. And I'm not going to say it again. You could actually rewind what I said. They're real. I believe in them. We must move forward. I am not laughing at PTSD and triggers again. I am not. I smile because it's my energy. I want you to remove them. I want you to learn to live with them. I want to create a space where we can actually talk about PTSD. Oh man, Randy, really? Why, God, really? Why can't people have conversation? Now Randy is telling me to grow a set. Really, Andy? Randy, did you just tell me to grow a set? Wow. Do you guys see that? This is brilliant. Keep going, Randy. Keep going. You're proving my point. You people are such trolls. Have conversation. To tell me to grow a pair is really disrespectful, my friend. You remember I have a vagina? So what if you said that in one of those Facebook groups where basically you would be fucking just nailed right now? I'm not going to nail you because I don't really care. But really, my friend, you, my friend, don't know how to have dialogue. You know how to call names in the sandbox. So why don't you leave, never come back, never come back. We won't have dialogue with you. We won't have dialogue with you. That's not dialogue. Telling me to grow a pair is not dialogue, my friend. That's bullying. I'm actually having dialogue with you. I was waiting for you to tell me something intelligent. But you're not. So, okay, YouTube people, I love you guys very much. Thanks for showing up and having the conversation that we need to have. Because as you see, people in our community get really upset when you say things that they don't want to hear. Because they don't want to hear the truth. And they don't want to have conversation. Thank you for proving that to me today, my beautiful people out there. I hope you have an awesome, beautiful day because I am and you are. And that's what we do. We teach each other to grow. We teach each other to have conversation. And we move forward. Okay? So actually, Stace, just knock them out. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. I'll talk to you later.